Hello everybody, Camelia here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new episode from here late in the night in my sewing studio. I think it's going to be episode 9. I have a few projects to share with you, what I've sewn these past few days and the one that I'm working on or started working on tonight. And I'm also going to show you at the end my sweater that is almost done. I still have 3/4 of my sleeve, but I really wanted to show it to you because it's really gorgeous. And to be honest, I don't have the name, but I'm going to put it again here in the description of the video. So what I did these days, I have you probably seen on the channel the review for the Vogue 1780 for this one. If you missed that, you can take a look how it's looking on. So this is the dress with a one-piece collar and a little bit of lace added here. And you can see it in the pictures in that video. I have also pictures with me wearing this. It's really nice. It was really worth it to have that toile made. It was very important actually to have that toile made because I did end up with almost 2 sizes smaller on that dress, but the dress is really nice. So that is the last video, the previous video here on the channel. Designer Stitch came with a new pattern these days, and I made that pattern as a pre-test. If you are going, I'll put a link here in the description, and there are some pictures of me wearing this dress on the website, on the Designer Stitch website. But I'm going to make a full review of this pattern maybe tomorrow. But I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And I made another version in one of those Challis from Minerva, you know, that you've seen in the previous episodes. And this is what I made today. Yesterday I cut it off and today I had a long time to sew, so I finished it. And again, I'm going to talk you through in my full review tomorrow, I hope. But I made one small little change on the pattern. The pattern has a one-piece back. It's with a seam because there is a little bit of shaping in the original pattern, so I just made a little bit of modification. I added a yoke, and I'm going to show or to talk about it in the review how I did that. And I also added some gathers here in the back. I think it's really nice. And I made also a belt, but I think the belt is also in the pattern. You know, it's just a piece of fabric. But it's a really nice dress, and I can't wait to share with you how also to add that little yoke in the back. I think it's really nice. And this fabric is, you see, is looking almost like it's a little bit with a flock print or a little bit velvety, but it's really not. It's just a challis, but it's really gorgeous. So this is what I worked on today. Really fun to sew. And there are a lot of gathers, and you know I hate gathering, but of course I worked again with my serger to gather all this fabric. It worked really nice, very fast, and I think the gathers are looking really even and nice. It's really easy gathering with your serger. So this piece is done. Will come on the channel these days, maybe tomorrow. And today I started with, I want to make, the next project is going to be with this fabric. It's also a challis from Minerva. It's a black background with some tigers and really small dots. It's really nice, and of course it's very flowy, and the really nice quality of the exclusive challis from Minerva. The same like this one. So the pattern that I'm going to make with, I'm still not sure if I'm going to make a dress or I'm going to make the shirt version of this pattern. Originally I wanted to have this one here with a nice split in the back and maybe make that opening all the way to the hem, but I'm still not decided because I really wanted to have these sleeves. The sleeves, they have a channel here and I can put them up. But thinking that the weather is turning a little bit cold now here, I'm not going to be able to wear that. I really like to have warm in the winter and in the fall. When I'm cold, I cannot wear 3/4 sleeves. That's why also on my sweater, the original sweater has a 3/4 sleeve, but I really make them long. So I want to make this dress maybe, but they have also a blouse. I mean, it's the same pattern, you only make it shorter. And on the blouse they do some long sleeve with a little bit of, with a slit and gathered with a small, I think it's a piece of bass band there at the hem. I'm not sure if it's an elastic. No, it's a bounded seam, I don't know. But I wanted, of course, I need to make a toile for this. And although I'm in the size chart a little bit, I'm a 40. I'm not going to make a 40 because I know that usually they do have a lot of ease. And I'm going to take my chances to make a 38. And of course I'm going to make a toile. I'm not crazy to start cutting my fabric directly. So I'm going to make a toile for it. But first of all, of course, I needed to trace my pattern. And I'm going to take a sip of water. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm tracing my patterns. I used to have, years ago, I bought some tracing paper in the Netherlands, and I finished it a few weeks ago. So I needed to have new one, but the taxes to send it to Germany, they were really, really high. They were like 20 euros, and I had to buy a few rolls. The rolls did get expensive, so I started to look a little bit around. And I found the same paper that I was buying in rolls of, I don't know how many meters, but smaller rolls. I found it now at, wait for it, at the packaging company, that they are selling paper for, you know, for in the stores to pack stuff. So it's the same paper, the ersatz paper, I think the ersatz, I don't know how it's called in English. So these are the rolls of 10 kilograms. They sell it, the width is 50 centimeters, and in 50 centimeters they have it only in rolls of 10 kilograms. This paper is really, really great, and so I bought 2 of these rolls. One roll is maybe like 40 euro, but there is a lot of paper here. It's going to, I think I have for a lifetime paper now. It's really great. It's a 45 gram of weight. Again, the roll is only 50 centimeters wide, but it's really great. And if you can imagine that you need to trace something like this, or imagine a burda pattern or something. This is like, you cannot compare it with tissue paper. It's as transparent as tissue paper, but it's really much sturdier. I mean, this is the light that is making it hard to see, but it's really, really easy to see. I think this is a great, great paper, and having it in a roll like this, and for this money, I mean, for 40 euros, I was buying maybe a fraction of this. So packaging paper from a packaging company. I'm going to put a link here. If you are from the Netherlands, they sell it. I think let me think. They have from, I don't know how many euros. You have it even sent for free. I have it picked up in the Netherlands, so it cost me nothing to let it send next to my city somewhere. And I'm going to put a link here in the video description. As I said, it's great, it's sturdy. You cannot make so much like tissue fitting sessions with this paper. It's a little bit too stiff for it, but for tracing difficult patterns is really perfect. As I said, if I have bigger pieces, like I have, for example, in this shirt, that I'm going to make the toile for it. This is really bad for the microphone, but I cannot do anything about it. So I just tape, as you can see here in the corner, I just tape a little bit of extra paper with just normal tape. And I'm not using, you know, the expensive tape that I can write on it with anything. I'm using the cheap tape because I'm using a lot. And I'm to trace my patterns, I'm using a Sharpie. And I'm using the ones with a really small tip, like the fine liners. You see, not the thick ones. I have also the thick ones, but I don't use those for these ones. I don't use these ones for tracings because I mean the lines are way too thick and they are going to disturb my my sizing. So I'm using the really small tip, which is great to write on the normal tape. So the paper is just 50 centimeters wide is really not a problem. Just tape a little bit and trace with a Sharpie. So this is what I want to say about the paper. I'm going to put the link here in the description of the video, and if you need tracing paper, take a look at this. It's really, really great. Something else that I wanted to share about tracing, for example, in this this shirt is from Stitched by You, and they don't, as let's say Knip Mode and Burda, they have no seam allowances included in the pattern, so I need to add those. To be honest, I really like that. I like that I can start from the scratch and I can add the seam allowances, the ones I want. For example, and to do that, to have it really easy and fast, I'm using these rulers. I don't know how they are called these days. I have them from really a long time. I bought them from Claret, from Etsy. Her shop is named differently now. Again, I'm going to put a link here in the description of the video. But these ones are great. I have, these days they are a little bit changed, but this one is the 5/8 of an inch width, and this one is 3/8 of an inch. And then there are all different lines that I can go also smaller if I want, on this one too, as you can see here. So these are great, and again, I like to add seam allowances by myself because, for example, for a neckline, I really don't like more than 6 millimeters, or for for the armholes, I'm not using more than 1 centimeter. So that's really, really great, and I can play and add what I want. To be honest, I started using different seam allowances when I started working with patterns from Designer Stitch, because Anne is using all kind of different seam allowances, and it was really a big revelation when I saw a collar to a neckline with only a 6 millimeter seam allowance. It's such a big difference. It's going so easy, and you don't have that 5/8 that you need to ease in, and it's a really big difference. You should try one time if you think, well, I heard a lot of people, they were complaining about when sewing the Caroline pajamas from Closet Core patterns, I think they are called different now, that the collar was not fitting and it was too big or it was too small, whatever. I trimmed my seam allowance to 6 millimeters and everything went really, really easy. So I think that is a great tip. In rounded areas, curved, just use a smaller seam allowance, and many of the times you don't even need to trim that back, you know, or to clip it to make it lay flat. So that was something that I really wanted to share with you. So this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to add seam allowances to this, and I'm going to make a toile. This is the back piece, you know, the one with the pleat. I think you can see the lines here. I have no idea how this is going to get together, and I'm just going to cut it in fabric and try to, I have a fold line and the center back, so I need to put it on fabric and then to try to put it together, because the instructions are in 3 or 4 languages, I think. So in this magazine, that's not a problem, but there are no illustrations or stuff like that, you know, typical magazine information of sewing instructions. So that's going to be a puzzle. But I wanted to say, I read that in the beginning when I got this magazine for the first time. And it's really funny because they use for, when they want to say to stitch the hem in the garment, they say stitch seam in panels. And when I read for the first time one of the instructions in a pattern, I read it in English and I was thinking stitch seam in the panels, and that's at finishing steps, and I was thinking, what is that? So I got then to the Dutch, and I think that's the original language of the ones that they are making this magazine, and there it was stitch the hems in the panels. So yeah, it's kind of fun, you know. So Stitch by You pattern broom, I'm going to make it now as a shirt to see the toile. I just want to say that I'm wearing tonight I think this is my most worn garment ever. This is the Chelsea cardigan from Designer Stitch. You'll find here on the channel a full sew along for it. It's a really great cardigan with a I wear this all the time. Sometimes I need to wash it, of course. And I have also a really nice one in black, in a ponty knit with a leather look. Also that one, I wear it all the time outside, of course. And this one is my house. I also wear it sometimes outside. But it's a really great one. It's a great cardigan. I'm going to put you a link here to the shop. And I have on my Bella camisole, which is also a Designer Stitch pattern. Also big favorite here. And I'm wearing them with my Dylan jeans, which are almost falling apart from being worn. These ones are also made with Minerva fabric, I think, with the denim from them. So I'm just going to take my microphone off. And I really want to show you the sweater I'm making right now. I'm going to put it here on the paper. Oh, that's bad. I'm going to put it down. 1 second, I'm going to pause it. And I'm back. So this is what I'm working now on. As you can see, well, I think I think 3/4 of this sleeve and I'm almost done. I hope you can still hear me. I don't want to put the microphone on this. So this is a pattern from Jennifer Wood from Wood House Knits, and I think it's Claret or something like that. I cannot remember the name. I cannot. I don't know. I'm going to put it here I put it in the previous video, I think. This is the back. It's really fun. I mean, the sleeves are really easy now because it's just knitting. And I did make a mistake on the sleeves. I have 6 stitches too much, and you can see that. But you know, it's a sweater. It's going to be warm and stuff like that. Oh, this is really gorgeous. And I'm using the Drops Merino Extra Fine. Actually, all my sweaters are made in Drops wool because I think it's cheap. It's really cheap, and I need cheap. Yeah, you know, I buy it mostly on sale, and it's wearing really well. I have a bunch of sweaters made with not this kind, but Drops wool, different kind of types, and this really nice. I'm knitting this with one of the Mindful collection from Knit Pro, and I just want to say that I used to knit. I have a bunch of other types of needles from Knit Pro. Mostly all of them are from wood. And when I made a knit along from Stolen Stitches, she was saying there about trying to use metal needles if your gauge is wrong or something like that. And I was thinking, oh, metal needles, I don't have those. So I'm going to try them. And I bought this one, and it's really amazing. I'm really much faster on the metal needles than on wood needles. I didn't know that. It was really a revelation for me. So this is what I'm doing now. Well, this is it. With this beautiful garment on, I'm going to end it up for tonight. God, I have already 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to show you tomorrow how my shirt is looking, at least my toile, and eventually the changes that I need to make to have it fitted. So, nice to have you here. I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye, everybody.